Video. If you guys want to check out my feature film Pace D, you can. Links down in the description below. You can check out the Blu-ray, check it out digitally, however you want. Also, check us out on Gumroad. You can buy our short films down there. Pay whatever you want. It helps us make more projects. I'll have more news on some exciting stuff soon. But I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to get some for this opinion. I really do think so, because after seeing the reviews for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, it's good. People seem to really enjoy it, but compared to the last one in Fallout, it does seem like, people still really love Fallout. I still really love Fallout, and Fallout was my favorite one up until now. It's my favorite Mission Impossible film, and quite frankly, it's one of my favorite action films of all time. I do think and I say this loosely, I do think objectively speaking, like just in terms of the quality and the stunts, this is probably one of the best action films ever made. It probably has one of the best action set pieces of all time. It might have the best action set piece of all time in terms of just, oh my gosh. I was literally in the theater, and this does not happen to me often. I was getting sick. That could have also been the popcorn and the hot dog and the Zen and the root beer. But no, I was genuinely getting sick because I knew that, like, obviously Tom Cruise is still alive, but watching him on that plane, you gotta watch it. You have to. It's really good. It's really good. It exceeded my expectations. Maybe that's why I went into it, because I went into it with lower expectations, not because I thought it was going to be bad or anything. Look, when it comes to Mission Impossible, there's a certain level of quality and consistency you can expect. You know the cinematography is going to be really good. You know sound design is going to be great. You know the score is going to be great. You know the acting is going to be great. I mean, you know all of that stuff is going to be great all around because, for one, they spent a lot of money on this franchise. Two, it's a really big franchise. I mean, it's a huge franchise. I mean, you could even argue that it's as big as James Bond. I mean, I know James Bond technically has more films and it's been around longer, but these films make close to $1 billion, or at least lately. I mean, they make a lot of money. They're not just going to put out something that's horrible or bad, because in a way they want to keep making these because they make so much money, except this is the final one. We'll see. But the action set pieces, that's what these films are. I think that's what makes these films. And when I go into a Mission Impossible film, I don't necessarily tune out all the other stuff because I get all the hard work that goes into it. So I'm not sitting there saying, oh, I tune out the acting, the cinematography. No, it's just that stuff is so good that I don't really even think about it. It's a quality franchise. It's the stunts that get me. And I think that's why these films have, they've kept getting better, because the stunts just, blow people away. I mean, it's just insane. And the fact that Tom Cruise does them himself is just nuts. It's just nuts. I also want to say that I was very surprised with how emotional this film was. Compared to the other ones sort of have a more quirky tone, but this one specifically was definitely more serious. And I guess I could see why, because they were showing how much was at stake. But even for a 2 hour and 50-minute long runtime, I still did not find myself getting really bored. I did not find myself, even with, it being dour compared to the other ones, I still enjoyed my time with it. I feel like that it needed to be that, especially if you're going to kind of go out on a high note, because yes, it is great. Like, I do love the charm that these films have when it comes to the jokes and, how they execute certain line delivery and all that. It's fun, but I do feel like for this one, the stakes personally is what made it for me. That might not be for everybody else, and that's fine, but for me, that's what really worked. There's also a set piece, and it's underwater, and I was so mesmerized by it. I just thought it was great. I mean, I was just sitting there in awe the whole entire time. I know that CGI is used for these, but you have to remember, when it comes to action, there's people actually doing it. Stunt people, stuntmen, stunt women. It's all around the board. People are kind of risking their lives for stuff like this. And I think that that's what, even though this is a franchise, and I know people like to kind of on franchises, this is definitely a franchise you can tell that really cares. I genuinely love Mission Impossible. It's so much fun. It's just, you know what you're really getting into. Even Mission Impossible 2. I like Mission Impossible 2. I mean, what are you going to do, sue me? And like I said, everybody was great. Tom Cruise is... I particularly liked Tom Cruise in this more than I did the other ones. I don't know why. There was something, his facial expressions that he was making. You could tell, you could feel the emotion with every single decision that he was making. I think Tom Cruise is a phenomenal actor. Now, I know it's not going to happen, but, like, honestly, an Oscar nomination for Best Actor for him specifically, I mean... Look, he's carried this franchise for 30 years, he has risked his, I mean, he's risked his life doing these films, you know, and it's just, I don't know. I think in terms of like Oscar chances, cinematography should be on the table because it was beautiful. Visual effects probably will be. Sound design probably will be. The score possibly. I think editing should be on the table as well because the editing in this film was also really, really good. There's a specific sequence, which I won't say anything, but it very much so reminded me, in a sense, of 2001, where, and I know that's like a really, really like huge comparison to make, but it was just the way that it was going through these different images, and it was just very, like I said, it's kind of hypnotic. It's kind of hypnotic. But I mean, going through the cast, like Haley Atwell, she was great. I do not know how to say this name. I'm so sorry. Palm Clement. I don't know how to say that. But she had really good emotional range in this too, especially her and Simon Pegg, the way that they were interacting with each other during a certain part. It was just so phenomenal. And then Trammell Tillman, who from Severance, was in it. He was also really good. And Ving Rhames, yeah, just everybody across the board, they did a terrific job. And Katie M. O'Brien was also in it. If you're familiar with Love Lies Bleeding, she was also in it. And of course, you also have Detective Holt from I think that's Holt from Mindhunter. Holt McKinley was in it as well. And you also had Nick Offerman. It has a pretty big cast. It has a pretty big cast. Maybe not like necessarily as big as Henry Cavill being in it. Or Philip Seymour Hoffman, but I mean it's got a pretty good cast. And I just want to just touch on it one more time. I don't want to beat a dead horse about the stunts or anything, but I do feel like where this is the final one, something has to be said about the hard work that goes into this. Like, look, people have their opinions about certain people. I mean, especially like, Tom Cruise. I mean, I honestly think Tom Cruise is a phenomenal actor. I think seriously, if he's in a film, I'm going to go see it. But like, I think Tom Cruise, I think the main thing is what I'm trying to say is when he was yelling at the set that one time, I heard some interesting opinions about it. But what I'm trying to say, the dude cares. He cares a lot about films. He cares a lot about the material. And it's very rare that you have an actor with that much control in a project, where they're trying their hardest to get the best possible product. Not only with acting, I say that not only with acting because I know every actor tries their hardest with their performance, but I mean just the overall production. Tom Cruise in this franchise is inseparable. I mean, it is inseparable. I could not imagine a Mission Impossible film being done without Tom Cruise. Like James Bond, sure. I mean, the Bond films, you can imagine a different James Bond in different segments, or different sections, like different eras of James Bond. I don't see a different era of Mission Impossible. I think that Tom Cruise is Mission Impossible. And, it feels a little bit weird to say, just as somebody who just really enjoyed the film, but I'm also kind of appreciative that we have stuff like this, especially for a big franchise, because, I mean, who knows when we're going to get another film like this. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. Let me know what your favorite Mission Impossible film is down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.